Hey everybody, happy Memorial Day weekend. We're there. It is time to do something red, white, and blue, you know. Everybody's got things planned for the weekend, and if you're going anywhere, having a picnic or cookout or anything like that, I have a recipe for you. It's super easy, it's really good. You can do a couple different things with it, and it's red, white, and blue. Can't get any better than that. So it's called red, white, and blueberry salsa, and it's been around forever. This recipe's been around for a long time. It starts with apples. This is like a throwback product. This is probably maybe an original Pampered Chef, like 38 years ago kind of product. Apple peeler, core, or slicer. If you've been around Pampered Chef for a while, no doubt you've heard about it, possibly have it. You're going to put an apple on there, okay? And what it does is core and peel and slice all at the same time. It's pretty cool. It looks like something your grandma would have had. Probably did. And it just goes through an apple really fast. So I've got a little apple slinky right now. It's all one piece, but it's all sliced, okay? So kind of a spiralized apple. You could actually use our spiralizer with an apple and do the same kind of thing. Have this recipe that would work. Actually, never thought about that. That would work very well for this. I'm just taking it now and cutting it into smaller chunks, okay? I'm going to do one more apple because this is going to be a salad for me, not a salsa, but I need more than this because it's good. It's going to last. It'll be my breakfast tomorrow as well. So, okay. So I'm going to go a little slower. We've got an apple. No apple is perfect, so the best tip I can give you for using the peeler, core, or slicer is to try to find the core, okay? It's not always right in the middle of the apple, but try to follow the line of the core with the line of the tool, okay? And the closer you get, the more even you're going to be able to slice the apple. If it doesn't work, it's still going to kind of work, and you just may have to pick some seeds out and stuff. But this takes a pretty good sized core out. And the other little tips I'll give you is you want good firm apples. So pretty much any time of the year you can find Granny Smiths that are in pretty good shape and nice and firm and perfect for this. And plus I like the tart part of the Granny Smith. See, then you've got, like, if you want to be Martha Stewart, you can put this on your stove with a little cinnamon and simmer it, and your house would smell like apples. Nobody's going to do that. Anyway, so Granny Smiths are just a good choice for this all the time. When it's apple season in the fall, any good firm apple will work. What'll happen is if the apple is a little mushy, especially if the core has gotten soft, is you start to turn and it just kind of, the peeler thing just pushes right through the center of the apple. In that case, it's just not going to work because it's just too soft. So just know that that's going to happen if your apples have seen better days. Just so you know, too, if you don't want to peel, you can move that out of the way, okay, and just core and slice if you want to just slice the apples with skin on. And you can also move the core or slicer blade out of the way and just peel apples. This will work with potatoes too if you like oven fry kind of thing. Really good for that as well. It's just kind of fun too. Okay, so last apple is getting chunked up. And just so you know too, it does slice really nice and evenly, and I just made one cut down the center. I'm going to scooch this down a little bit. Now I've got apple halves, okay? If I just cut down one side, I could have little apple rings. So if you were doing some sort of a breakfasty, like apple pancakes or something like that, and you needed rings, you can pull it off with the apple peeler core slicer also. Okay. If you don't have that, you can core the apple, put it in your food chopper and chop it. I like it a little chunkier because, like I said, I'm going to eat this like a salad, but if you wanted it more like salsa consistency, then you could put it in your food processor or your food chopper and get the apple pieces smaller. However you get them that way, it's going to work just fine. Okay, then we're going to add some I got the largest orange I've ever seen in my life. We're going to add a little bit of citrus zest because this calls for a small orange. This is my microplane zester, and can you see I'm working on it with like opposite what you would think most of the time. Let me explain that. So most people hold it this way with the grating blade on the top and then the citrus over the top of it or whatever you're grating, and then your cutting board into your bowl, whatever. I want to kind of eyeball what I'm doing and have a little more control over it, so I'm doing it upside down. And that way I can see exactly how much citrus zest I'm getting and stop when I've got enough. Oh, that smells really good. And I think that's about the equivalent of a small orange. This thing is huge. Okay. So also want to zest or juice this. And I'm going to use the citrus press just because that's my favorite way to do that. We do have a regular citrus, you know what I'm talking about, juicer, that if you do a lot with recipes, especially where you need to measure the juice that you're doing, it'll strain it, and there's a measuring cup in the base of it. It works really well for that. I usually am just squeezing the lime over something or into something. So this is my tool of choice. This is the citrus press, and since this orange is so ginormous, I cut it into chunks to juice it, okay? If this was a lime, I would cut it in half. I think if you've watched any of my videos, I'm using the citrus press a lot, so you may have seen me do that before. But, oh my gosh, this is a juicy orange too. So I'm just doing each one of these little sections to get a bunch of juice out. And it's just a little, for me it's faster and easier than the traditional juicer, but it's kind of a preference thing. So we can have those choices for you. This is very juicy. Oh my goodness, I don't even know if we need this much. That's enough for now. But you can see it really reams this out. It gets all the juice out of it. And yeah, that's plenty. Ooh. Okay, so we've got apples and orange zest and orange juice so far. And we're going to add, the recipe says 2 tablespoons of apple jelly and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I didn't have apple jelly. I'm using peach preserves. That's going to work just about the same. And it just kind of as a good little shortcut if you're ever trying to make a fruit salsa or a fruit salad, or you know, you just want fruit on a plate, you want it to look a little glistening and shiny. Just mix in a little preserves, whatever you've got. It's not going to change the flavor very much, but it's going to kind of coat the fruit and sweeten it a tiny bit, and just makes it look pretty. So this is peach. We're going to have another level of flavor, just a real slight peachy flavor in here, which there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's the white. Now we'll get to the red. Yeah, I think you can see all this. So this is called a quick slice, and you may have seen me use this before too. I'm going to load a bunch of strawberries on here. I think we can get about 6. And I'm going to hold it up close so you can see they're sitting on their, I cut the core out, they're sitting on their tops, okay? It's just because it's kind of a flat edge. And I've got sliced berries really, really nice and fast. We do have an egg slicer if you have that. Strawberries you can slice with that as well, but just one at a time. This allows you to do a bunch. So it'll go a little bit faster, and if you haven't seen this before, it's pretty cool. I'm actually going to use it in a little bit. We're going to have caprese pizza for dinner, and I've got the little mozzarella, fresh mozzarella that's going to go in here that gets sliced up really nice with this. Any kind of vegetable. About the only thing it won't slice vegetable-wise is sweet potatoes because they're just too fibrous. But anything else, if you want to grill vegetables or saute or anything like that, put them in a salad. It's just a fast way to get things sliced up. So here's some more, just so you get the point there. Okay, so that was like a cup or so of strawberries. This is one of those recipes that you're just going to not worry so much about measuring. Okay, Oh man, this looks so good. And then some blueberries, and that's the blue part. And that's it. It's really a really simple recipe. It's delicious, like I said. The original recipe calls for kiwi in place of the blueberries. So actually that's probably the one I'll post, and I'll just make a little note about subbing that. That's really good too. If you like kiwis, that's outstandingly good. So, but I just like the red, white, and blue, and I think it's kind of perfect for this weekend. And this is really good if you are going to serve it as a salsa. You can make cinnamon tortilla chips, but in my view, life is too short. We have great stoneware. Knock yourself out and make all the chips you need to. But you can also run to the store and grab these. Most places have these cinnamon ones, pita chips, and they're very good with this. Like I said, we're going to have it just as a salad. I'll hold it up close so you can see it nice and pretty. There's a holiday right there. All right, you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you again soon.